G'day everyone, Haere, welcome to the show, whatever your name. It's Tuesday the 19th of February. Happy birthday Tim Shadbolt, 61 today. Here he is in 1969, the scruffy bugger. Look at the jandals, different colours. Marty Friedlander took the photo, which is now at the Auckland Art Gallery. He was 22 and would later become the mayor of Invercargill. What journeys life takes us on. A bit of a theme that tonight. Coming up later, Keisha Castle-Hughes on becoming a politician, yes, and a special announcement with Lorraine Moller also coming up. But first, Patrick O'Brien, the straight young man who became a cop, an undercover cop, and then, well, a criminal. To survive undercover, you have to be utterly convincing, and to be convincing, you've got to join in for weeks, months, and even years, day after day, doing whatever it is the people you're with are doing and living a lie. Eventually, you bust the people you're with. They go to jail and you go back to your normal life. But Paddy O'Brien couldn't go back. In part, he'd become the criminals he busted. Hamish Clark with the cop who's been on the run for 30 years.
I told lies to the court and I told lies to juries to obtain convictions against my targets.
Patrick O'Brien is a former undercover cop. The lies he's confessing to were told in court, under oath.
If I hadn't lied, they wouldn't have been convicted. If the juries had known the truth, the cases would have been thrown out.
O'Brien was one of the country's first undercover agents. It was the 1970s. He spent 3 years immersed in the dark criminal underworld, hanging out with drug bosses, committing crimes.
I was a criminal. On all my operations, I was a criminal. In the beginning, I pretended to be a criminal, but in fact, by the end of my 3 years of operations, I was a criminal.
Nevertheless, O'Brien was one of the best undercover cops around, securing over 100 convictions and closing down a major drug operation in Gisborne.
I never lost a conviction, never lost a case, with one exception.
But his work undercover has come at a cost. He says his life is ruined because of all the lies.
They've harmed me. Damaged me. And I've spent my whole life running. But I've come to realise that really what I was running away from was my guilt. So I want to sort it out. That's why I'm here.
O'Brien's guilt can be traced back to his childhood, growing up in a strict Catholic household. As a teenager, he was a model student at St Pat's Silverstream in Wellington. He led the school orchestra, captained the school athletics team, and played wing for the first 15. He was set for great things, joined the police force. And then, as with so many undercover officers, he crossed the very fine line between immersing himself in the criminal underworld and fully sinking into it.
What sort of activities did you do while you were undercover in the Hamilton region?
My mission there was to stop the chemist burglaries, sometimes 2 or 3 a night. And to do that, I ended up doing chemist burglaries with the main offenders.
You took part?
Yes, yes. They used my vehicle, my patrol car.
Throughout his time undercover, his actions were fully endorsed by his superiors, saying it would be difficult to imagine a more dedicated member to the job.
Can you tell me what lies you
Yes,
told?
Yes. In the main, they were to do with retaining my own credibility. I would deny that I was stoned and claim that I was simulating the use of narcotics or marijuana or the substance at the time, and convince the jury that in fact I was a reliable witness because I was sober and I was straight, when in fact I was smashed. That was the main lie. The other lie was often to do with the evidence, which, as a matter of course, I tampered with. It was a standard practice to tamper with the evidence. Often the exhibit that was before the court was not the exhibit that I had purchased or obtained from the target.
Why did you do it? Because here you are, you're a policeman, you swear an oath, justice, all those things.
Yes, Queen's Oath.
The Queen's Oath?
Yes.
So why did you do it?
I was ordered to.
Who ordered you?
The people who trained me and directed me and controlled me.
Was it a general rule that you had to lie under oath?
Yes. It was what we were trained to do.
It worked. He got convictions, and his abilities were even recognised by former Governor-General Sir David Beattie, who presided over many of O'Brien's cases in Hamilton.
And at the end of all those trials, he wrote to the then Commissioner, Mr. Ken Burnside, complimenting me on the way I deported myself in the witness box, giving my evidence to the juries. It impressed him. The sad and ironical thing about it all was that while his letter would look wonderful on anyone's CV, he was writing about my lies. And in many ways, what he wrote has haunted me all my life.
After 7 years, he resigned. His success getting the better of him, all the drugs, all the lies.
I was scared.
Scared of what?
Criminals. In the main. I was also scared that because of my behaviour, and I was a criminal, I had stopped pretending to be a criminal, I had become a criminal as an agent. And I was very scared also that I would be arrested for my offending and that I'd go to prison. And it's not a good place for someone like me, especially being in the situation that I was at that time. So I resigned and left New Zealand.
You went on the run, basically, didn't you?
Yeah. I've been running until now.
Today, Patrick O'Brien is homeless, hitchhiking around New Zealand, exchanging his skills with his camera for food and a place to pitch his tent. Last November, Patrick O'Brien wrote to Chief Justice Dame Shana Lyons confessing to telling lies under oath to obtain convictions against his targets, and that he was now ready to face the truth.
When we were trained, the instruction was that we were to take this secret, or these secrets, to the grave. Well, I've decided I'm not going to do that, the first thing. And my intention is to go and knock on the doors of my targets, or those that are still alive, and admit to them that I had lied. They know I lied. I know I lied. God knows I lied. That's it.
Experienced defence lawyer Nigel Hampton, after hearing O'Brien's admissions, is unsure if his guilty confessions are enough to overturn any past criminal convictions.
I wouldn't hold my breath about it in terms of overturning convictions, because there will be, as I say, other material I suspect would indicate that these people were involved in offending.
Yesterday, Campbell Live received this statement from Police National Headquarters, directly responding to allegations made by Patrick O'Brien. It says the New Zealand Police view Mr O'Brien's comments very seriously and that he has raised new allegations relating to the tampering of evidence. The police say that they're looking to engage an independent investigator, a Queen's Counsel, to formally conduct an independent inquiry into Mr O'Brien's latest allegations and ask for his cooperation.
If the police want you to cooperate, would you fully cooperate?
Yes. Yes, I'll cooperate. And if I'm charged with perjury, I'll plead guilty. I won't attempt to mitigate what I did. I won't try and leverage some dispensation in terms of sentencing. I thought all this through before I wrote or sent the letter to Dame Shana, and I had to be realistic to myself and honest with myself. And the question I asked myself was, Patrick, are you prepared to go to prison for the rest of your life? And the answer was yes, I am.
Could it cost you your life?
It could, yes.
And you have no worries or fears?
Not at all. This is about me getting the stuff out of my soul.
Coming clean?
Yeah. That's what it's about.
This once tough top cop, a highly commended police officer who infiltrated the criminal underworld, is finally making peace with his own demons.